Drop 100 on the DJ, play some 90s R&B. Every day a different form when you ride and shot with me. I can take you to the mansion, hit a yacht and have a drink. You been California dreaming, close your eyes and don't you blink. Drop 100 on the DJ, play some 90s R&B. Every day a different form when you ride and shot with me. I can take you to the mansion, hit a yacht and have a drink. You been California dreaming, close your eyes and don't you blink. Let me sweep you off your feet, we do London for a week. Really ain't the one for waiting, but my presence make you leap. And it's ain't just about your body, want your mind and then your sheets. I don't fuck with none of these bitches, if I want you it's for keeps. I can show you how I'm living, take care of you like my peeps. Fly you out to Carolina, I can listen while you speak. You want Fendi, hear some cheddar, cause I know you ain't no leech. It don't make the problem better, but put a smile up on your cheeks. When I fuck up in that pussy, I make love like it's a treat. Cause I really say the moment for the times that we can't beat. Sleeping in my Texas tea, cause you said it smell like me. When I'm overseas, you callin', see my face and it's relief. She ain't used to money calling, all her niggas always beef. Off-white and Lil Prada, I want diamonds in my teeth. She ain't used to gangsta loving, kiss her toes and let me eat. I can give you your desire, cut you off and set you free. What's the good old big deal with the good old people? It's your boy Young and Hefe. Don't care about number what the check say. Make sure you go ahead and like and subscribe, because it don't cost you nothing to press that button. And if you ring that notification bell, I'm going to bring you mail. What's the good old big deal with the good old people? It's Hot Topics with your boy Young and Hefe, and I'm here to deliver you another one like the other one. The recipient of Hot Topics today will be no other than Clubhouse specialist wack100. So, with all that's going on, the indictments that's falling out, other people getting put out there as being rats and or snitching, characters being slandered, all type of stuff. Y'all been watching what's been going on. You cannot be a person with any smut and or foul activity going on without being smutted by wack100 and his counterparts. This been going on before I joined YouTube. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm pretty sure it's so much clips as well as evidence to regard the fact that I'm speaking and coming out of my mouth can be shown and or found. So, however, with all this slanderous behavior, these indictments going on, it looked like something that had already surfaced has resurfaced. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, y'all be having these little clips, you know what I'm saying? Just like the X4 clip, you know what I'm saying, with Adam 22. When that originally had happened, it wasn't noticeably like that. Then with all the antics and everything that's going on, and y'all seeing different interviews where Adam 22 is pressing, trying to get somebody to say something that happened and or incriminate themselves. You know what I'm saying? But at the end of the day, you can't blame him. It's still up to you to incriminate yourself. So, however, I've been experienced something that I've been experienced while thriving and living through life. That it's a lot of hypocrites out here, you feel me? And usually the things people bring to the forefront and or politic on and or try to smut somebody else on, they have usually dealt in these same actions and or is a recipient of the thing they pressing against. It's kind of like how I experienced it. Like, I seen it back in the days, you feel me, and or coming up to where you might have had somebody that was a reputable homie and or, you know what I'm saying, that, you know, just known for doing their thing out here in the streets, you know, whether it's unaliving people, you know what I'm saying, you know, whatever the cause is, they push, you know what I'm saying, but, you know, they have the attributes that comes along with the character of somebody that's known to handle their business and don't play. But it's some paperwork on them. They had been caught in the jam and told on something, but it had been kept under wraps and or not spoke on because this character is known to be a terrible person. And if this information get out there, it can be unaliving. So a lot of times these situations are swept under the rug. Now, with that being said, it's kind of like a snitch unaliving a snitch. You know what I'm saying? That's what be going on out here. And or somebody telling, knowing that they got some history of telling, but because of their repertoire or in our reputation, it's swept under the rug and people don't want to speak on that because they don't want that nightmare on Elm Street. Now, I don't know if this is the situation pertaining to Wack, but we definitely about to get in this content. As I said, this is content that already been placed out there but have resurfaced for whatever reason. But I'm pretty sure we all know the reason, you know what I'm saying? So let's get into this content. And y'all already know it's the Hefway and the Hef Effect. We gonna commentate.
Safety trooper Darren Chase was on a routine patrol on Interstate 40 in Wheeler County, Texas, when he would pull over a 2005 Cadillac for driving 77 in a 70-mile-per-hour speed zone. The driver, later identified as Cash McElroy Jones, stated that he was a truck driver and always ran about 5 miles over the limit. He also stated that he was en route to Tulsa, Oklahoma for a funeral. At some point during the traffic stop, the trooper would ask Cash Jones for permission to search his vehicle. After denying the request, K-9 units were called to the scene. During the search, troopers located a black rifle, black shotgun, a loaded black pistol, along with several clips and large amounts of ammunition for each gun. Following the recovery of the firearms from the vehicle, both Cash Jones and his passenger, who would later go on to be identified as his brother, would be arrested, with both men being charged with unlawful possession of a firearm by a convicted felon. Soon after this arrest, he would be briefly placed on a Fed hold before posting a $10,000 bond. Once out of jail, wack100 would travel back to Los Angeles, where he would continue working with Death Row Records and Suge Knight. Only 2 years later, in January 2008, police would name Knight as one of the members of the mob Pyru Street Gang in a crackdown by authorities in the city of Compton. Despite his music industry connections and now managing Ray J and rapper The Game, wack100's name would be left out of the crackdown. In that same year, Cash Jones, aka wack100, would be caught on wiretap, informing business partner Mark Stevens that the Main Street Mafia Crip leader Ladell Rawls was under investigation for the kidnapping and beating of Robert Ross, aka Stutterbox. Ladell Rawls, who prosecutors said was the leader of the Main Street Mafia Crips gang, would be accused in a criminal complaint filed in February 2011 of directing members to kidnap, beat, and rob the victim, Robert Ross. CS2 Back would play a pivotal role in that case, both helping authorities connect the dots to Dogg via the wiretap phone calls and eventually helping Main Street beat their case.
It's a cold game out here, man, you know what I'm saying? Freedom members, though, you know what I'm saying, on everything, you know what I'm saying? So, however, wack100 driving along that interstate. You see the signs, 70-mile-per-hour zone. Wack going 77. However, state trooper, wherever he was at, whether he was weaving in and out of traffic or whether he was on the side of that road, clocking. He see a 7 over, you know what I'm saying? Whoop, hop right on him. Probably hop on him, probably see the plates, California. I'm probably sure if he seen that the place was Texas, you know what I'm saying, probably wouldn't even trip, hop behind him for a minute, run the name, you know what I'm saying, boop, hit the light, you know what I'm saying, pull over. He pulled Wack over, pulled down on Wack, come up to that window, you know what I'm saying, howdy do, you know what I'm saying, roll that window down, let me holler at you. So, find out the name Cash Jones, you know what I'm saying, you know why I stopped you? You know what I'm saying? Oh, you going 77 in a 70 mile per hour. Oh, well, you know, I'm a truck driver. You know what I'm saying? I usually always do this. You know, I'm just coming down here, passing through Texas on my way to Tulsa, Oklahoma, about to go to my mother. I don't know if the man said mother, excuse me, but about to go to somebody's funeral or something like that, or meet his mother to go to a funeral or something like that. If I served myself correct and heard that his mother was mentioned. So, state trooper, he ain't going for it. You know what I'm saying? He probably really don't care if it's the truth or not. He bored, probably in one of them little hick towns, nothing going on. Look, I'm about to serve you this ticket. Furthermore, you got them California plates. And you're black. You mind if I search that car? Wack100 tell him no. You know what I'm saying? Wack100 been around for a little while, you know what I'm saying? Probably got a little game, you know what I'm saying? Know some legal terms, you know what I'm saying? Probably got a lawyer on call or whatever, you know what I'm saying? Tell him no, 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 you will not be searching this car. So what he do? Okay, well, my next procedure is to call these K9s, because if you don't want to let me search, I think you might be hiding something. So let's see if these K9s can sniff it out. K9s come to the scene with however they do it, put them up to the car, they sniff it out. Oh, smell gun. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? Get them barking or whatever. You know what I'm saying? Barking, they don't know if it's guns or drugs, but he's going crazy. So it's obviously he know the scent of gunpowder and or, you know what I'm saying? Do the gun got a smell? Is it a smell on the metal? You know what I'm saying? I don't know. So, however, they probably get told, well, they know probably, they get told to get out the car, you know what I'm saying? They get out the car gets searched, you know what I'm saying? The weapons get apprehended. Y'all see what they say they apprehended. Say they apprehended like a shotgun, and I want to say a assault rifle, might be an AK-47 or whatever. So, you know, it ain't nothing else to talk about, truck driver. You and your brother, y'all on your way to jail. They go to jail. I guess the bail was set like at 10,000, whatever. Wack bails out of jail. You know what I'm saying? He bails out of jail. Bails out of jail for these guns. Furthermore, this was a case that we are going to find and see later on through here that got dismissed and or thrown out for whatever reason. You're going to see the cause and all that. And y'all going to be able to deliberate for yourself what y'all think. You know what I'm saying? So I remember this time, and another reason why I'm covering this, because, you know what I'm saying, free the guy, man, SK, man, 7K, you know what I'm saying? That's my guy out of the main streets, man. And as well, too, I knew Dogg. You know, we used to go over there, buy weed, you know what I'm saying, shot dice with Dogg before, you know what I'm saying? And I remember that time because I was in the county when that was going on. You know what I'm saying? A lot of them was in 821 in Supermax, you feel me? I was all through there, you know what I'm saying? So I remember that time when they went down, you know what I'm saying? That was during the time when Shaq had just retired from the NBA. As soon as he retired, bam! Right on clue, the next day they hit him with a federal case. Y'all know stutter boxing was implemented in there and all that. So I don't want to tell the story to y'all. We're going to get into the facts, and y'all already know it's the half way and the half effect. We're going to commentate.
Over and the search happened in Texas, right? So immediately, that's why they had the Fed hold. They like, well, yeah, you know, he crossed the state lines, but you can't prove none of that. How you know I didn't pick it up in Texas? If she found something. Wheeler County, there you go. Cass Jones, Wheeler County. Them motherfuckers. Hey, bro, shout out to Texas for having audio and video on the front of their squad cars. Because if I'd have been in Cali Beach, I'd have been fucked. I'd have had to take it. Yeah, because they have to write the report based on the audio, the video and the audio.
Yeah.
Like if I'd have been California, it'd have been my word against theirs, but an ex-con word against theirs on how they got it. Them niggas could have said they saw something on the back seat. They could have said all kind of shit. But because they had audio and video, that's what saved me.
Right. All right, something else beforehand, before we get back into what Wack was saying. So some of this audio and or, you know what I'm saying, footage is from Active Chucks, and as well as another podcast channel I can't remember, but I'm pretty sure, you know what I'm saying, they stamp or stable was through there. So shout out to the people, you know what I'm saying, who had originally, you know what I'm saying, created this content and placed it out there, you know what I'm saying. I'm just reacting to it and or giving my opinion of being somebody who had been through that system, you know what I'm saying, and been up against snitches and rats and done times behind being told on and CSIs and all that type of stuff. So
that was the paperwork right there from the stop. So a lot of people are saying that Wack is all bad. They calling him snitches and stuff like that. So as I said, this situation had been visited before, and for some reason it's coming back up, and it seems that a lot of people are revisiting it because a lot of names are coming up like Big U, Mark Stevenson, Shaquille O'Neal, you know what I'm saying? Stuff like that. So as I was saying, that was the initial paperwork, and or I don't know if he got indicted, you know what I'm saying, or that's just how that county, Willard County in Texas, that's how they do their paperwork, make it look like an indictment. But that was I guess what had happened, you know what I'm saying, pertaining to the stop, you know what I'm saying, and you know what I'm saying, the whole overall, you know what I'm saying, identification for probably what the police officer remember and what wack100 was saying. So wack100 is saying right here, like how I told, you know what I'm saying? So people are saying he told because the case disappeared and or the reason for them throwing the case out. So they give a whole list of why the case can be thrown out, and the lack of evidence or his rights being violated was not one of them. And a lot of people are saying that he gave evidence and helped the feds and or the law enforcement in the Shaquille O'Neal Main Street and Stutterbox case, you know what I'm saying? They said that he was giving information to Stutterbox, you know what I'm saying? I mean, giving information to Dogg, rest in peace, and as well helped them beat the case and get out. So this is Wack, like, man, how I tell, man, this is what they threw it out for. So we're going to get furthermore into this content, and y'all know it's the Hef way and the Hef effect. We're going to commentate.
This what I'm trying to figure out, though, Box. Help me understand this, because me and you both know that whole case was your thing. What is Mark saying I had to do with the case, bro?
Wack, listen, in the paperwork, it said you tried to call Dogg, remember?
I tried to
and he
call
won't take your call. And I sent it to you. And he said
I talked to Dogg.
But he said he didn't talk to you. He wouldn't take your call. But they said he wouldn't talk. Yeah, and Dogg said he was cool. He didn't want to talk to you in the paperwork.
That's
what you said was going off of what...
That whole Main Street shit, that was your play. I ain't had nothing to do with it. I was a victim.
Only 1 month after the indictment of the Main Street Mafia Crips, on March 9th, 2011, Cash Jones, aka wack100, would appear in Texas State Court to have his charges finally dismissed from that 2006 unlawful possession of a firearm case, where he was caught with multiple firearms and ammunition. The stated reason for the dismissal was not lack of evidence or a violation of wack100's rights, as he claims, but based on the paperwork, wack100's gun case was dismissed in the interest of justice.
Okay, so right there. Now, if y'all follow and y'all see what's going on, that's Stutterbox. I'm saying Stutterbox from Main Street. You know, I'm pretty sure a lot of people know who Stutterbox is and have heard Stutterbox's name at one point in time. Definitely in this LA area, you feel me, in his native land of LA, Los Angeles, California. So what it looks like is, what is being said is that wack100 caught that case for them guns. A lot of people was like, what happened? How did that just disappear? You not fighting that case no more? So basically, the case was thrown out, as wack100 is defending. Man, that case got thrown out because, you know, it was illegal search and seizure, you know what I'm saying? They had the dash cam, you know what I'm saying, this and that. Basically, he's saying that their approach was unethical, you know what I'm saying? And based on their approach being unethical and them stopping them and stuff and like that, the case got threw out, and the dash cam and whatever, the video cam from the car grill, wherever it was reporting from, helped him out. But he said if he was in LA, that it would have been over for him, you know what I'm saying? It would have been his word, ex-convict word against the police word. So with all this going on now, it comes back full circle to Stutterbox. You know what I'm saying? Well, let's get online with Stutterbox. Let's see what Stutterbox had to say. Wack and Stutterbox, you know what I'm saying, as y'all gonna find out, you know what I'm saying, I guess was longtime friends and or had a relationship. However they had it, they used to live next door to each other and or across the street from each other. So Stutterbox get online like, look, man, this is what's going on, man. They said your phone was hit. You was a CI. You called Dogg and you gave Dogg a drop on my address. After you gave the drop on my address, my car got shot up. And for my car getting shot up, you could have been charged. But however, right here in the paperwork, it does say that Wack was trying to reach out to Dogg through Mark Stevenson's, but Dogg didn't want to talk because Dogg was having a feeling like, man, this don't feel right, man. Like, they might be, you know what I'm saying, had they line tapped or might be trying to record it, you know what I'm saying, put me inside, you know what I'm saying, the doggy bag, you know what I'm saying? So, from what they said in this paperwork, Dogg didn't bite. But as we going to find out later on, you know what I'm saying, some more shocking, you know what I'm saying, information is going to be revealed. So let's get back into this content. You already know it's the halfway and the half effect we going to commentate.
He was on the wiretap. He allegedly gave Dogg my address, homie. If I get killed, whoever gave him my address gonna get conspiracy to murder. But if I don't get killed, they can get conspiracy to attempted murder because they shot up my Rolls Royce, put 17 holes in my Rolls Royce.
That's what I'm trying to figure out, though, Box. Help me understand this, because me and you both know that whole case was your thing. What is Mark saying I had to do with the case, bro?
Right, listen, in the paperwork, it said you tried to call Dogg, remember?
I tried to
and he
call
won't take
Dogg.
your call. And I sent it to you because they said when Dogg called you, his phone was hit. That's how they got on your line.
No.
And you play. That's what they say, what?
No.
As you can see, by clearly implicates wack100 into this case, not only in an interview with Deuce M's and Stats 280, but also right to Wack's face on the recorded phone call. In part 2, we saw Deuce M's break down the paperwork with the transcript on which wack100 or CS2 back was caught red-handed as a confidential informant for the FBI, with detailed, corroborating evidence and paperwork that leaves no doubt that wack100 is in fact confidential source number 2 or CS2 back.
The paperwork is a transcript of a wiretap. And once I get into this paperwork, you're going to understand that back was one of the names that the feds used for confidential source number 2. So back Wack also says CS2 back. CS2, for those who don't understand law, is code word for confidential source. wack100 being on a wiretap talking about conspiracy to murder. That holds the same exact time as a murder, a life sentence. And if that's what you on wiretap for, and if that's what they came for you for, then how you out of jail?
One thing I would like to say, man, the internet is undefeated and it's a cold game out here. So as y'all see and hear, for y'all own eyes and ears right there, what's going on again. So that is the conversation replayed from Stutterbox and wack100 when wack100 is questioning Stutterbox like, man, what's going on, bro? You know that ain't me, bro. That's your case, bro. You know why Mark Stevenson got my name in it. So Box like, look, man, you already know, bro. Don't act like you don't know. Like in the court transcripts, it say that you called Dogg and gave Dogg my address and or was trying to get my address to Dogg. You know what I'm saying? You know it was a problem there. You know what I'm saying? And you was playing devil's advocate. I don't know if you was trying to just, you know what I'm saying, rub shoulders with Dogg, if you was, you know what I'm saying, gang starstruck or whatever the case may be. But they said that you were implemented in a conspiracy to murder, which holds life because my Rolls Royce was shot up. If I had got killed, you would have more than likely got life. You know what I'm saying? So they saying, based after that, when Wack got caught with them guns down there in Texas and got stopped, like basically he might have had a proffer session and or had a talk with them authorities and told them like, look, man, I got some information y'all might want to know. Man, Shaq in it, you know what I'm saying? Look, this was going on. He sold it to him. You know what I'm saying? Gift wrapped it in a package. Allegedly, I wasn't there. This is what they're saying. This is what's laid out. You know what I'm saying? Obviously, he gift wrapped it in a package, gave him, you know what I'm saying, something real tasteful, and it worked in his favor. They was calling him back, B-A-C-K, because he a blood. And that was like the crazy part y'all gonna hear and find out later on. But they saying he CS2 back, you know what I'm saying, and that's the information he gave up. He was trying to line people up, you know what I'm saying, and stuff like that. So let's get back into this content. Oh, something else I had wanted to point out. In all my life and going to jail and seeing the reasons why a case can get dismissed, I ain't gonna lie, I've never heard in the interest of justice. I've never seen that term of anything like that. I don't know if that's just a Texas term or if it's a legal law term, but people say when they looked it up, it ain't no good. Like basically in the interest of justice, you helping justice. So in the interest of justice, they released you. Let's get back to this content.
Mark Stevens on, and okay. Hey, Mark, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. Can y'all hear me?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, we can hear you. Salute Mark Stevens. This Stats 280. Salute everybody. Salute. Yes, sir.
So you was cool with him from the beginning, even negotiated on some business as he
Yeah, I met
introduced.
him. I met him with Stutterbox. I met him with the homie Stutterbox. That's how I first came to meet Wack, was through the homie Stutterbox, right? When I met him, dude was driving trucks, seemed to be cool. Box was like, yo, this was his neighbor across the street. He seemed to be cool. When Stutterbox when he defected, Wack picked up the phone and was basically being the interim, the middleman, because he was telling me Stutterbox was defected, and I was like, okay, but my whole thing is, if he defected, why are you fucking with him?
Right. So he says that Stutterbox defected, and then you get some phone calls asking to speak to someone else, right?
Yeah, he called me. He called me, man. It was, man, a series of calls, 4 or 5 calls. He wanted to reach out to the homie, rest in peace, Dogg. And I don't give out nobody nav. So I called the homie, Dogg. I'm like, yo, homie, you want to holler at this dude or what? Because he keep calling me. And he was like, nah, I'm good on that. I don't want to holler at dude.
So at some point, you get a phone call from wack100, Cash Jones. And when he contact you, what did he contact you concerning?
He wanted to reach out to Dogg, rest in peace. And he wanted to give Dogg some information that he had gotten from Stutterbox, right? It's like he was getting information from Stutterbox on what his plan was and what the get down was gonna be. And he wanted to talk to the homie and talk to him. And Dogg wasn't getting on the line with him. And he kept blowing me up because he wanted me to get him on the line.
Right. Smart man, rest in peace. So he's talking about the phones is being compromised. Is that one of the things that he told you?
Well, the homie Dogg never trusted dude. You follow me?
Right.
So Dogg didn't know was the lines compromised or was they wired up for sound or not. He just wasn't gonna chance it. You follow me?
Right.
But it was later on. It was later on after they took the case to they was taking it all away because the homie ain't had no choice. You know, he was facing a life sentence, so he had to take it all away. And with all the lawyers that was involved, they was able to get the discovery, and that's when we found out that the lines was compromised.
And as soon when you get the discovery, was part of that the actual wiretap? The whole transcript.
I got the whole transcript. The whole transcripts of the whole wiretaps.
And do you, in that paperwork, do you see your conversation with Cash Jones in them transcripts?
That was the initiating. When they started recording.
Right. And how did they refer to Cash Jones?
In the paperwork they put him as Back, BACK. And
correct.
I kept asking the lawyer, like, who the fuck is? I ain't talked to no Back. And they said, nah, that's Wack.
All right, now, so we getting somewhere a little further. So as y'all hear and see, for them eyes and ears, that's Mark Stevenson on the line. So Mark Stevenson, that was Shaq's business partner, you know what I'm saying, I guess at the time. You know what I'm saying? And, you know, he was messing with, Dogg. Later on, you're going to hear names mentioned like Big U and stuff like that. So for Mark Stevenson mouth, you know what I'm saying, and y'all hear Wack when he called Stutterbox and he asked Stutter like, hey man, what I got to do with that? Why Mark Stevenson, whoop put my name in, Mark Stevenson saying that you was calling him trying to get Dogg number or to get Dogg to tap in because you were corroborating information that you thought Dogg might wanted to know. You told them people, Mark Stevenson words, that Stutterbox is defected, which you're trying to say that Stutterbox was all bad in or telling. So based on that, Stutterbox thinking you a trusted friend, but the whole time you playing Spider. You know what I'm saying? You giving the boogie. You know what I'm saying? You giving the ups on him. But Mark Stevenson is like, well, if you know this, why is you still dealing with him? What's in it for you? Why are you dealing with somebody that you know is bad? Mark Stevenson and them, from what they saying and what it seemed, they not giving them the time of the day because they messed with Stutterbox hard body. And they like, shit, we met you by way of Stutter. You the only reason why. That's the only reason why you even got in with us was through Stutter. Not because of you, Suge, and Death Roll and this truck driver situation. You got in through Stutter, and now you giving information on him. We gonna back up from you too. And as he say, furthermore, so where I'm getting kind of confused at, I can't lie, like I said, is that they saying that he did talk to Dogg and gave Dogg some information what would have had him implemented in the conspiracy to murder. Then right here from Mark Stevenson saying that Dogg wouldn't take his call. So we got to figure out which is it. You know what I'm saying? So let's get back into this content. And y'all already know it's the halfway and the half effect. We're going to commentate.
The blood. So it's back. And I said, oh, okay.
And was this back also referred as confidential source number 2?
Yes, sir.
Correct. Well, man, I'm glad that the truth was able to come out. And it's sad.
But bigger than that, but bigger than that, homie, right? I watched dude, man. He said some things about the big homie Shaq, that wasn't true. He said some things like he been trying to destroy the big homie Big U name, and I'm seeing and watching this. And I called the big homie U. We was talking. I said, yo, when you get into Atlanta, man, come see me. Because I had what I had for years. And when I gave it to the homie, I said, man, you read it. Because it was a big-ass textbook of shit. And the homie just sided with what was right. He said, I can't fuck with dude no more. And that was the end of that.
Until Wack started attacking, and that's when Wack started attacking him with false allegations and all of this online weird shit, right?
Correct, because the homie Big U asked me why I didn't fuck with the nigga, and I said, he read it, he was like, oh, okay, I see why you don't fuck with the nigga. I can't fuck with the nigga. And that was it.
Wait, how long was it from when you first got it that you met you in Atlanta to show him the work?
I got the paperwork from the attorneys probably in, I want to say, 12 or 13, because it was a series of, remember the incident happened in 07, 06, 07, but Box had went to prison. He called a drug case, so he went to prison, and they waited to almost the last month of the statute of limitations to go get the homies from Main Street. Right. So it had been about a 5-year period from the time that had happened to the time that they came and got the big homies. And then once how
did you feel about you waiting that long now?
Well, he chastised me, and I never, one of the things, bro, and it's like it's the slippery slope, as people say, right? Like on one end, Wack, the nigga, he wasn't doing no harm, right? He was just trying to move around and be the tough guy. Okay, cool. You know what I'm saying? My whole thing is, okay, that's what you want to do, cool. But then it went from that to, I heard what he was saying about the big homie Shaq, and then I heard what he said about Big U, and that's when I picked up the phone. I said, hey, you, man, I want you to read something, man. And then once you read it, once you know, you know. That's Quran. That's the Holy Quran. Once you know, you know. You're accountable for what you know. And when he read it, he said, okay, I see why you don't fuck with dude. I can't fuck with dude. And that was it. Let me tell you something, man. I probably haven't seen nor talked to Wack in years, And, I wish everybody success and happiness, but not on the basis of lies.
Right.
And
not on and really indicative of your character, Mark, because you have a whole campaign publicly of a brother that's heavy in our community positively. He has graduated from school.
and into football and all of these other positive things, and he smutting his name through the mud just because he decided not to deal with it. And brother, well put. Look, I call the homie Big U all the time. I call him the naked truth. And he always be like, why you call me the naked truth? I said, because whack is the well-dressed lie.
Bitch, I'm naked right now.
You know, it's an old parable about truth and lie when swimming. And, you know, lie jumped out the water and put on truth clothes. So you had a well-dressed lie, but then truth got out the water and it was naked. So you got the naked truth that's trying to run down a well-dressed lie. Feel what I'm saying? Throw a rock and hide his hand. Right. That's.
So look, this is what I'm gonna say right here, and this is what I be talking about, right? So, people pick which situations in which they want to be solid and who they want to be solid to versus a homie or enemy. A lot of people do not have proper etiquette and do not stand on proper etiquette as far as where integrity stands. But a lot of people like to insert integrity, like to insert morals, you know what I'm saying, inside their wordplay and in their mind to speak out their mouth. You know what I'm saying? Just to sound cool in or to sound good. And a lot of people are not standing on integrity at all. They standing on certain principles that are dear to them. They're not standing on principles from a worldly aspect. You know what I'm saying? It's sectioned off, kind of how like the United States sectioned these states off. Oh, this Utah right here, this Nevada right here. You know what I'm saying? This California right here, this Arizona right here, this Mexico right here, and so on and so on. Y'all get the picture. Now, this Mark Stevenson's guy, you been knowing that wack100 was allegedly hot as a firecracker, and you still allowed him to play around in the industry and with certain people that you knew. Once you found out that he was dealing with Big U or dealing with anybody that you knew, you supposed to gave the game up. Hey, you, let me holler at you. This is not one of them situations where people always want to try to take the high road. No, man, I'm just minding my business, man. You feel me? I ain't trying to get in nothing. You know, they look like they was dogging like that. I don't want to get crossed up. You know what I'm saying? Because it don't make no sense for you to hide it and then come forth and bring it out. You got to do your due diligence if you're going to do your due diligence or shut the hell up. That's just how that go. Because you shouldn't even never came out and said nothing. Soon as you knew he had a relationship with guys that didn't know and you knew these guys were solid and or people that you looked up to and or big bro, the big homie, you supposed to spray him down. Hey, he's all bad. Look here. So, however, I don't want to keep my whole focal point on that, but he in factually did. Mark Stevens drop the boogie, so he basically got at Big U like, hey, look here, check this out. You know what I'm saying? I guess it was asked why he don't mess with wack100. You know, if y'all caught that, you know what I'm saying, through this segment of why it was even asked, I don't even know why it came up, but obviously he felt and seen that the Mark Stevenson guy did not like wack100 and or was shying away from him and wasn't dealing with him. Maybe Big U probably implemented his name a few times. Like, man, you know what? I'm messing with wack100. My boy wack100, when they was cool, he got this popping or he doing this for me. And Mark Stevenson is kind of like taking the back seat, like, you know what I'm saying? They ain't saying nothing. And Big U probably caught on like, hey, what's up, man? You know Wack? You know what I'm saying? You don't mess with Wack? Like, man, I know you know him, whatever the case may be. And that's probably when Mark Stevenson, I guess, finally was like, hey, look, man, I'm going to show you something and you take it for what it is. You know what I'm saying? If you know, you know. You know what I'm saying? Hit the Quran quote, quoted it on him, slid it to Big U. You know what I'm saying? I guess Big U read it and was like, oh, man, I see why you don't mess with dude. You know what I'm saying? And furthermore, the question get asked by, I think, Deuce M's like, man, how did Big U feel? Big U didn't like holler at you. Yeah, well, yeah, you know the big bro, he did chastise me. He did chastise me and this and that. Like, man, so yeah, it's a cold game out here, man. Like, you don't know who you dealing with. Like I said, you got snitches calling snitches, you feel me? And then people don't care about that snitching shit. As long as they can benefit off that person and or that person got something of interest, you know what I'm saying, that can help them and heighten them. Like, that shit out the door. Ain't nobody living on them principles. And like I said, you will have a snitch out here trying to highlight another snitch in or snitch activity, man. So it's a cold game, man. Y'all seen it right here, man. Y'all can hop in the comments, you know. When I got that T-Zom, you know what I'm saying? When I do find T-Zom, you know what I'm saying? I'm going to answer back, you know what I'm saying? For sure. But y'all heard it, you know what I'm saying? Y'all seen it, you know what I'm saying? So y'all can differentiate what y'all think, you know what I'm saying? And we going to conclude that there. It's your boy, Young and Hefe. Don't care about number what the check say. Make sure you go ahead, like, and subscribe, because it don't cost you nothing to press that button. And if you ring that notification bell, I'm going to bring you mail.
I know you capping. Man, I might make some niggas mad with this shit here, right? But I don't give a fuck. I'm going to keep it real. Man, half of these niggas around here the police. And y'all got them hanging out with you. Half of these niggas that got on the stand, my nigga, and testified on niggas, right? But them y'all homeboys. They come home, y'all celebrate them. Y'all got them at boo, coo, this, all this shit come around. That's why I don't fuck with these niggas. Cause them be the same niggas that got them gonna get on the stand and testify against your ass when y'all here in the streets. See, that's why I got the way, dog. It ain't nothing out here but niggas gonna tell on each other. Get on the stand and testify. Oh, it's niggas around here done testified on niggas. I got paperwork, niggas done testified, got on the stand on niggas, and don't even got nothing to do with the motherfucking case. That's how scared these niggas is around here. Fuck they talking about. It can happen to you.